Well, hello, everybody. Give some people a few minutes to join us. But really, so Adam, I think we started this conversation with Tippy in October of last year.
I know, and we're finally here, right?
It's been a long time coming. And although we're the ones on here today and talking and celebrating about this, there's been a plethora of people on both of our teams that have been putting out an immense amount of work and energy and time into making it all happen. So I'm excited to share it with everybody.
I know, it is finally here. So we're so excited to launch this new partnership. How many people do we have popping on?
Got one on right now. Give people a few seconds to join us.
It is Monday morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I guess afternoon, depending on what time of the world you're in.
Yeah. So we're celebrating here with everybody, but we can really celebrate for everybody who's putting in all the work and all of the efforts in our development team and our tech team and all of our our partners and sales teams and things like that. So in no better fashion would it be without some good old Rosy.
Ooh, yes,
so
Laura.
We can celebrate from everybody.
A little scared. Here we go.
Pop it. Woo! I love it. So cheers to you, Adam, and to everybody at Tippy and everybody at Rosy that has been working so hard to make this partnership and this feature happen for all of us. And we're excited to share it with everybody. But we're just really excited to share it and to celebrate this new partnership and new feature for everybody and the salon owners and the benefit. So cheers to you, Adam. So good for a Monday morning. All right. I'm going to go ahead and display if we can get, if anybody is joining us, I do have the chat showing, so they will display over top of our screen so we can put them out there. So good morning to everybody and cheers to you. But we just wanted to get started in talking and about Tippy and Rosy. And if you just heard that, we really started this conversation last fall. And when I was talking to some of the Tippy team, it was like a no-brainer of why we would not want to bring on this benefit for our salons and just what it can do for salons as well as the stylist. And so Rosy always wants to be able to help salons to streamline their business and just to run a more efficient operation. And so we have Rosy and Rosy Pay, and now we have Tippy. And so with doing that, we're going to be able to provide an ultimate benefit to the salon owner as well as the stylist. So my name is Lori, for anybody watching, and I am our partner manager for Rosy, as well as our director of sales. And I'm with Adam, and Adam, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and just tell us about Tippy.
Yes, so I'm Adam Kennedy, head of partnerships and sales over here at Tippy. So what if I could tell you that there's now a free feature upgrade within Rosy Pay that is a tool that's designed to increase client, staff, and owner happiness? Well, that is Tippy. We call it a win-win-win digital tipping solution that was specifically designed for pro beauty industry. You know, tips are super important and really can equate to 20 to 30% of a service professional's income. And unfortunately, the personalization of tipping has declined over the years as a lot of guests have moved away from cash and now are using plastic. So when I think of win-win-win, the first win would be for the service pro, right? Because the technology is really designed to generate higher tips and deliver 100% of those tip funds instantly through our fintech partnership with Branch. The solution will also empower service pros to understand the importance of tips as really a way to kind of measure guest satisfaction within their Tippy app. Why it's a win for owners. Owners are always looking for ways to save money, right? And all owners, if they're accepting credit card tips, are paying those processing fees on those tips on credit cards, but still in good faith, paying out 100% of those funds. So we provide a monthly rebate program that will help offset any of the processing fees that are collected through Rosy Pay on tips. The win for the client is everyone wants a very seamless checkout experience. And with this technology, it's an all-in-one checkout experience with an iPad. It's a client-facing kiosk that will display like service and retail totals, and it will work with all of the readers and terminals within Rosy Pay.
So many questions already. But good morning, Sandy from Baltimore. Thanks for joining us, and cheers. So we have another cheers to us. Adam, cheers to you. Cheers to everybody watching.
You guys are going to get me a little tipsy before I even start my day. It's 9 o'clock my time.
Tipsy Tippy with Rosy Rosé. Okay, so you mentioned a few different things. What Tippy is. What is the best type of salon for Tippy?
So any employee-based salon that's currently on Rosy Pay that's looking to kind of elevate that guest experience and provide maybe an additional employee benefit, during a time when recruiting and retaining clients is really more important than ever before. So that's really the ideal salon for the partnership.
Okay, so then you mentioned the branch card, right? So tips are getting paid out on this branch card. So if the tips aren't coming out of the register anymore, or if they're not coming out of payroll, they're going to a card, how does that work? What does that process look like?
So it's instant, or really within seconds. So once the transaction's been collected through Rosy Pay, we float all the funds immediately to an FDIC insured bank account, which is branch. They're going to be able to get a little notification on their phone to see their tip funds. And also within the Tippy app, they're going to be able to see the client's first name and last initial and kind of track all of the tip history right there within the app.
That's awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned with Rosy Pay, because for anybody joining, this is a Rosy Pay benefit. So if you're not currently using Rosy Pay for your payment processing, this is the first thing you need to start with, is with Rosy Pay in order to enable Tippy as a feature. Okay, so if it still doesn't show up on their W-2, and then what about the taxes? Is the salon owner paying the taxes on that still?
Oh my goodness, that's one of our number one questions is Mr. Uncle Sam, right? So we do recommend that you do go through your CPA or your accountant to really discuss how to deal with the tax piece of it. But the great news is that within the Tippy app, the dashboard, and also within Rosy, you're going to be able to track those tips collected. So, if you're looking to pay FICA on those tips, you can do that very easy within all three platforms.
Okay, so definitely report it, right? They can pull a report in Rosy still. They can have a Tippy report. They can find out, and the service providers know right from the app on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Correct.
so the other big question that always comes up, and I know salon owners are always looking to reduce their processing fees. So let's talk about the processing fee. Who pays it? When do they pay it? Where does it go?
Yes. So this is a completely free solution for the salon and the service pro. The client is the one that's actually paying a convenience fee. And that convenience fee is 2 3/4 and 50 cents. In most cases, it'll be less than $1. So a $20 tip would be $1.08. A $15 tip would be 84 cents. So it's a very small fee that the client is actually incurring for using the technology.
Adam, I see so many salons talking about, like, should they pass it off to their clients? Should they not? Is it just a way of doing business? And there's some mixed feelings on there, but what have you guys seen as far as like customers paying that convenience fee? Like what's some of the feedback you guys are hearing on that?
That's a great question. And we do get that quite frequently here at Tippy as well. It's like, oh, who pays it? Does the salon, does the service pro, does the client? And the way I look at it is that your stylist or your team are definitely going to be the one that are going to scream the loudest the most. So let's begin with the client. Clients nowadays are very accustomed to paying convenience fees. Just think about all the fees that we pay when we order through DoorDash, Grubhub, even when you call an Uber, you're paying additional fees. And in most cases, we do it because it's a way of convenience for life. So, let's start with the client, and in most cases, they're not going to even blink an eye at this particular fee. Now, we do train your team on how to handle that objection if it were to come up, and simply explaining to the client that this fee covers the ability for us to float those funds instantly, just like a $20 bill, but in a digital form, right to that provider. They'll be okay with it.
Mm-hmm. And it is so minimal that it's likely they could just not even notice it, but it is very transparent. Like, you guys have it open. It's not a hidden fee anywhere. They can see it. It's right there for them to know about it. But I would imagine a lot of times it's so small that it's not going to cause a lot of issue.
Right. In most cases, again, it will be less than $1. Just the other day, I'm not going to name the delivery app, but I did use a delivery app, and my fee was 17%, if you can believe that. Wow. And I still paid the fee, right, to get me the food quickly to my doorstep. So it is a convenience fee. And again, they're not going to really even notice it. And if they do, there's a great way to handle that if it were to come up.
Okay. Awesome. So you got everybody covered. Okay. So what about the tips on the branch card? How can that money be spent?
That's another great question. So there's multiple ways those funds can be used once they're in the branch account. The first thing, and my favorite way of spending those funds, is adding your branch card to your Google or your Apple Wallet. We also will send out a free physical card. So if you do want to use a physical card when you're out and about, you can do so. And there's 75,000 fee-free ATMs that you can go out and withdraw those funds right away, or you can transfer them to an external bank account that you may already work with. We find that about 70% of our users, they just leave their funds within branch, and they use it as a way to save, right? To save for a vacation or a special occasion. We even have one case study of an esthetician that actually saved for her entire maternity leave with her tip funds right there in her wallet. And the best part is that if they leave their funds within branch and they use their branch account to spend those funds, they're going to earn cashback rewards. Like this weekend, I bought a new pair of jeans at Levi's, and I earned about, I think, 3% cash back. So sorry, Gen Z people, I'm still wearing the skinny jeans. I'm a millennial. So.
I love it. Also, I know there was somebody too that I talked to that said, I don't want my husband to know how much money I'm making in tips. So it's like, well, this is perfect because it stays right here on this account. It's separate from a shared account that you may have with your spouse or whatnot. So it's great. And you still get to keep track of it. Perfect. Okay, so that's for the stylist. They get it. They can spend it right away. They're earning some rewards on it. What about for the salon owner? What's in it for them?
Offering an elevated guest checkout experience. I just read a study not too long ago that in the retail world, 3 out of 4 consumers, they are looking for a very seamless way to check out when they're shopping. So this is going to offer that for them. Obviously, they're going to save on all those processing fees that they collect on tips. So let's say your salon does $1 million in service revenue annually. That ends up being about $2,000 to $3,000 annually that you are saving by passing on that small convenience fee onto the client. And another benefit is to really offer your employees another way, to as inflation heats up, it's another way to instantly provide access to those funds. So let's say it's a Friday night and they want to go out for the weekend. They don't have to wait for those funds to go on payroll. They can just spend those instantly right then and there.
I love that. Also, they get a beautiful display screen to put right in their salon. That's client facing. It looks really nice. It's easy to use. It's perfect.
Right. And we all know hardware costs money, right? So we see those hardware devices when we're out and about at coffee shops, and we're always, dreaming of what would that look like in our salon. Well, the great news is that we provide that client-facing kiosk and the iPad completely free with this solution.
Yep. So that is our special gift for all of our Rosy and Rosy Pay users that are going to be using Tippy, is that there's a free terminal for you as a gift that will sit again on your desk or your front station, wherever that is client facing. And then you also get the first 12 months for free.
That is correct. And I
Right?
believe we're going to drop in a link in the comments.
Yep.
So if you guys are interested in learning more and helping to get started, it's super easy to do, guys. Like, I know sometimes it's a little daunting to think about adding a new feature or new technology into your tech stack, but this is really easy. Setup is simple. It's basically a plug and play solution that runs off Wi-Fi. So we're going to drop a link right there in the comments. Just fill out the form. It will also prompt you to go ahead and schedule a time to meet with us so we can help you guys get started with your free upgrade.
If you're not using Rosy Pay yet, we will put another link in there as well. And that will connect you to somebody from our Rosy Pay team so they can talk to you about how to start using Rosy Pay for your processing, which will enable you to use Tippy as a benefit as well.
Perfect.
Awesome. I don't think we have any questions. Let's see. Let me just get
one question. Okay, so this is a good question that just came up. What are the fees after the first year? So your first year is completely free, as we mentioned before, but at renewal, it is $300 annually. And what that $300 fee is going to cover is really the insurance on the kiosk itself. Let's say that kiosk falls off the counter, it cracks, or maybe someone spills liquids on it, or who knows what happens to it. You can contact our support team. Our support team is all based here in the US. They all come from salon and spa background, which is really, an added benefit for you as well. You contact us and we'll send out a new kiosk right away for you. So that fee will cover that as well. And it'll allow you to earn the rebates the following year as well on the processing fees.
Thanks, Adam. Okay, so I just put in a Calendly link for anybody that wants to connect to a Rosy Pay specialist talking about Rosy Pay. And then there is also a link on there that will connect you to Tippy, where you can learn more about Tippy and also connect with somebody from the Tippy team on how to get started. And there is one more question. What if more than one device is needed? Can we have a kiosk per checkout station?
Of course, yes. We can provide as many kiosks as needed. One thing that's great with the actual integration itself is that some salons will actually just have one central kiosk in between two stations, and it can be used as one central kiosk as well. Because the way that it'll work is once the client has selected their tip amount and viewed their itemized detail of their service in retail, it's going to push that back into the respective reader for that terminal.
Love that. All right. Well, Adam, thanks so much for joining today. We are so excited about this new feature for all of our salons. Do you have anything else you want to share before we go?
I don't think so. The link's right there in the comments, guys. So we'd love to hear from you. Again, just fill out the form and schedule a time to meet. We're really excited about this new free upgrade. And maybe we do one more little cheers before we go, right?
Cheers.
Lori.
All right, everybody have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks, Adam.